Hello, this is an introduction to fractures and caries with Miss Moeller. To start off, I want to go over parts of the tooth. So we have the enamel, which is the hardest surface of the human body and covers the outside of the tooth. And then we have the dentin, which is the middle part of the tooth that makes up the majority of the tooth. And then we have the pulp. This is the area where the blood vessels and nerves rest. And then we have the root, which is the long portion of the tooth where nerves and blood vessels travel up. Cementum is the material outside covering the root surface. And then alveolar bone, which is technically not part of the tooth, but it's the bone that the tooth is in. For fractures, these are cracks in the tooth that may cause soft tissue or bone damage. These are caused by traumatic forces such as car accidents, falling, essentially any type of blow to the face. Now there are many fracture types, which are pictured below. We have incomplete fractures of the enamel without losing any tooth structure. We have fracturing the enamel only coronally. We have enamel and dentin fractures that may or may not involve the pulp. And then we have enamel, cementum, and dentin fractures that once again may or may not involve the pulp. We have a root fracture and then a fracture involving alveolar bone. Now, fractures on radiographs, also known as X-rays or images, may cause the periodontal ligament space to widen. On these X-rays, the fracture lines will appear radiolucent, which is dark, and then areas may appear radiopaque, which is light, where segments of the tooth overlap due to the fracture. And then due to the fracture, we may see the tooth displaced on the radiograph. Now for caries. These are caused by biofilm accumulating. These are non-communicable, which means you can't share them. It's not transferable. And due to caries, it results in a mineral loss of a tooth. Now, caries can be caused by a combination of biological, behavioral, psychosocial, and environmental factors. For caries, we follow Dr. G.V. Black's classification of caries. For class 1, we have cavities in pits or fissures of tooth. So this might be the occlusal surface of premolars and molars, the facial or lingual surfaces of molars, or the lingual surfaces of maxillary incisors. For class 2, we have cavities in the proximal surfaces of molars and premolars, whereas class 3 is the proximal surfaces of incisors and canines that do not involve the incisal edge. Class 4 is proximal surfaces of incisors or canines that do involve the incisal edge. Class 5 are cavities in the cervical third of the facial or lingual surfaces that don't involve the pit or fissures. While Class 6 has cavities on the incisal edges of anterior teeth and cusp tips of posterior teeth. If you could, please like and subscribe to help other future dental professionals study. Here are my references. Thank you so much for watching.